Hey everybody, welcome to Farm Fed. My name's Catherine. Thanks for joining me today. So today, as promised, we're going to do potatoes. So go to this. These are going to be your fall potatoes, okay? Right now you should already have potatoes in the ground, a few feet tall, if you planted them the right time. These are all my fall potatoes. So I got seed potatoes. Seed potatoes are different. I've had people ask me, so at the grocery store, you accidentally leave one in your cabinet and you're like, oh man, I forgot, and it's got eyes all over it. People say, can I plant this potato? So the answer is yes, you can plant anything you want to. However, it'll probably grow a plant, like a bush, but more than likely it's not going to grow a bunch of potatoes underneath it. And the reason why is because it's been treated. It's a GMO product. So it's made by the government on purpose not to replicate itself. Fun fact of the day. So you want potatoes. This was 2 pounds. So this 2-pound bag of seed potato will make about 50 pounds, I believe, of potatoes. So these are red Norland potatoes, and these others that I have are Kennebec potatoes. So Kennebec potatoes are going to be like a golden potato. Both of these have thin skin. I feel like in the Texas Panhandle, these probably grow the best, and it's because they're thin-skinned. I've tried russet potatoes, and they just don't grow very well in our soil. I don't know if it's because the acidity level or the alkaline, is off in the soil. I don't know, but I've had the best oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry. Luck with these potatoes. So let me show you real quick how to do these. Okay, you're going to get them and they're going to look like this. It looks like a weird alien thing, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to cut the potato wherever there is an eye. They're going to be weird and squishy. Don't worry. So see how I cut this? And the eye is on the other side. That's the eye. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this bag. I'm going to cut all of them into a bunch of little pieces. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay these out in the sun for 24 hours. So tomorrow I'll come back out here and I'll get them. But you want this part of the potato to callus over. And that is very important so that you do not get disease in your potatoes. So I'm going to let these scab over, and then tomorrow I will plant them. These are really easy to plant. Loosen up your soil. It does not matter where this root goes. You just want to make sure to cover them completely, pretty deep in the soil. I usually put mine, I just dig with my hand and stick them in the dirt, maybe a few inches down in the dirt, like 6 inches maybe. And after you do that, water them. I usually put hay over my potatoes, and the reason why is because in a few days, these roots are going to find their way up to the sun, right? They're going to come out of the soil. Instead of going down, they're going to go up. So what you want to do is, if you see any, check your potatoes every day or every couple days. If you see any roots on top of the soil, you want to cover them immediately. The reason why is if you don't cover them, they will absorb the sunlight. They will have a chemical reaction, and your potatoes will all turn green where you cannot eat them. And your final finished product will be green potatoes that you cannot eat, and they're hard as rocks. So definitely keep your potato roots covered. Whenever they start making an actual plant above the soil, like where it's a little green bush, you do not have to cover those. But I'll walk past my furrows of potatoes every few days, and I'll just cover them up. I just mound up dirt over them, and then eventually the little bush will pop out of the top of it. Whenever it does that, water your potatoes as needed. I love potatoes because they're not a high maintenance thing. After you get them going really good, they're going to flower out. They're going to get really big and bushy, so make sure that you put them in a place where you have a lot of room because the bushes are so big. And they could be, I don't know, maybe 3 feet tall or so, the bushes. They're going to flower out with either yellow or white flowers on the tops of them. You are going to keep watering them, and eventually your plants are going to start turning yellow. that's good. You want them to turn yellow because they're starting to end their life cycle. They're starting to die off. Whenever they die off, you're going to just stop watering them and let them die. When they die and the whole plant is completely dry and it looks terrible, like you completely killed them off, then you're going to go through and grab the bottom of the plant and you're going to pull them up out of the dirt. Whenever you do that, you'll have a whole spider web full of potatoes attached to these things. And it's really fun for your kids, you know, because you can give them little shovels and tell them, you know, go hunt potatoes and they'll find all of them and stuff. But if for some reason you accidentally don't find all of them, don't worry. They'll still come up for the fall if they're late. You know, and these potatoes can stay in the dirt for several months. So your fall potatoes can actually stay the whole winter in the ground. And so it's a great food source because if you can't use all of it at one time, you can just keep it in the ground longer and just let it go. And you can still, we harvested potatoes the other day. Rusty did at the other house that we have with a garden, you know, from last year, and they were fine. And we ate all of them. They were purple. Adirondack potatoes is what they were. So, anyways, whenever you harvest your potatoes, keep them in a dry, cool storage. Do not wash them. Keep the dirt on them. That way they don't go bad. And you can save them in a nice, cool place like a root cellar, basement, in some totes or something that has like sawdust and air holes in it. That way they can breathe and you can get. And some potatoes are better for storing than others. These thin-skinned ones obviously are not for long-term storage, but they don't freeze very well either, I've noticed. And that's just because they get freezer burn and they turn black. I don't know why that is. So if y'all have any way to prevent that, like a saltwater bath or somehow like parboil them or something, but you could definitely can these in stews and soups and things like that. But anyways, so I'm going to get these all cut up. I'm going to let them scab over, and tomorrow I'm going to plant them in our garden around the other potatoes that we've already got going, because these are not going to be ready till the fall. So, but you definitely, let me see, I'm wanting to say these are something like, says harvest them 2 to 3 weeks after the tops turn yellow, which is what I was saying. So it says it reduces peeling and bruising. That's why. But anyway, I'm wanting to say that these are, these say late summer harvest, but I'm doing these for the fall. And it's really hot here in the Texas Panhandle. So if you want to plant potatoes now, go ahead and plant them, because you'll have potatoes in probably October or so. And you can leave them in the ground over the winter to winter. So if you want to go get potatoes in the wintertime, you can out there. I just leave them and they don't bother anything. So whatever. But anyways, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching Farm Fed. Bye.